Good morning from Mount Stewart. So I'm here with a good friend of ours, David Craig. He goes by the name of Heritage and I. He does a whole sequence of high-spec drone surveys and aerial surveys for the heritage sector and beyond. So it's been incredibly dry through June, July. Looks like it's still going to be into August. When it dries out like this, what you get to see is all the stressing of the crops and the grass. So you see that baked areas that you've probably seen on the likes of Time Team and all those sorts of things. That's a really good indicator of where hidden structures are or past structures are within the landscape. And you've been surveying some of these.
I've been mapping this field with the drone since 2014, so we've got a good data set over a period of time of what this field looked like at various times of the year. And we have had crop marks, or parch marks as they're called. They're like dark green patches that show up where under the ground there would be a ditch, and the water retention will be retained in there, so the barley or wheat will stay greener longer and take longer to ripe in those areas. So it shows up circles, it shows up old field boundaries also. So we know that this field does contain some Bronze Age prehistoric features, but we didn't know exactly where they were, the actual location. So this dry spell has enabled us to do, we've just completed a mapping exercise over this field. It's been flown over with a microlight just yesterday, and the photographs from it were showing really strong green signals in little squares, which would represent the Bronze Age graves, and they're in the far corner of the field. So this is going to give us really accurate positioning, that if ever they did want to investigate this site in terms of an excavation to find out some dating evidence, they would know exactly where to go to in the field. So the drone flies up and down in a lawnmower pattern, taking pictures, looking straight down, and then in software, stitch it all together and create a really accurate mosaicked image. And we can measure from that, measure widths and depths as well. It measures both the X and the Y, distance out, but also height as well. So if we had humps and bumps in the ground, the drone will be able to pick up the humps and the bumps, and it will actually be able to put contours in as well. So there's an awful lot can be done from a flight like this. So that's building a bit of a story of this field.
But what we do know is that it's not going anywhere anytime soon, but as long as we're aware that it's there, then we can make sure that nothing happens to disturb the ground lower than it is. So cropping has taken place on this field for quite a long time now, so it's not going to ever plough any deeper than already has been. But it's all sitting there waiting to be discovered. But opportunities like this, when you can really see what's showing, and it has shown up a load more since the last time that you've seen. Yes. But of course, it's just another little insight we think of the domain just as we know it today. But you know, the east coast of Ireland, the island of Ireland, was early man settling, long like Bronze Age and before. You'll know that we have obviously a pre-Christian Rath on the domain, and then we've got the Anglo-Norman mottes. But this goes way back. So we'll perhaps pick up on those stories in the future. So thank you, David.
Okay, you're welcome.
And we'll see you next week.